Let's go. Dyberinky jsou zaplý.
Good morning. Welcome to the briefing on competition day 5. And let's jump straight into results from yesterday. The winner in club class was Alan Simeon from Romania. Congratulations. And the winner in standard class was Aaron Ersegi from Hungary.
Maďaři budou na rádi. Historicky. Musím dávat s námi.
And now to the weather.
Tady máme kabel pod tím. Good blue morning. Today we have nice blue sky and we expect nice blue thermal for today. There is a weak flow of warm air from south, and due to this we expect nice blue thermal for today. On satellite we have nice blue sky. Only in north part of Czech Republic there will be influence of cirrus clouds, but no above competition. For the task area for today we expect blue sky all day. There is morning soundage from Prague. when temperature at surface will have 42 degrees Celsius, we will have nice cumulus clouds in our sky in 4.5 kilometers. But today, maximum temperature will be about 32, and due to this, we expect blue thermal. We have two types of blue thermal in Czech Republic. One is deadly with strong wind and low top, and second is nice liable with high top and low wind. For today, we will use number two, second type of blue thermal, and the deadly one we will use last Friday. There will be weak wind from south direction in south part of Czech Republic and blue thermal. Phase in time of start we expect southeast wind, maximally 5 meters. Due to this we use other side of our runway. This is forecast of cloud cover. It's easy for today. There will be no clouds. There is an important part of briefing forecast of thermal activity. In start of day at 12 o'clock of our local time, from Tábor to east, there will be blue thermal with top above 1,200 or 1,500 meters above ground. And during day, in our task area, the top of thermal may be above 2,000 meters above ground. But it will be individually updrafts to updrafts. Sometimes it will be a little bit lower. Sometimes it may be above 2,000 meters. And we expect that at 6 o'clock of our local time, there will still thermal working. And 6 week and good idea will be at home at 6 o'clock of our local time. And we have one notice for today. Stay lubricated, stay hydrated, or we solve it for you. We have strong instrument for hydration. Stay hydrated. Have a nice flight. Have a nice flight. Thank you.
I'll have a sniffer today to find terminals for you before you start. And these are the tasks we prepared for today. 226 kilometers in club class, 236, almost 237 kilometers in standard. This is the task overlay, so task area, very different tasks themselves. This is the airspace for today. It's pretty simple. Take air here around Nemakil 4, prohibit up to 5,000 feet above mean sea level. Here is edge of Prague DMA prohibited from flight level 75. Here is DMA Čáslav, prohibited from 3,000 feet above mean sea level. Tango Romeo Alpha 31, prohibited from 1,000 feet above ground level. And that's the main airspace to watch out for today. We're using runway 11 for the first time today. Just as a reminder, the grid procedure is to go on the north part and then take all the way to the south and turn your glider 90 degrees once you reach the southernmost position in your row. Because it will be very hot today and because we want to ensure maximum safety, we'll ask you all to be at 11:40 at the grid. We'll be pushing all the rows all the way to the back as possible, just to make it more comfortable about the forest today. So take off from runway 11. Very same thing as from runway 2, just mirror opposite. So grid on the south, cars waiting behind the grid, tail planes landing to the north of the grid, and if you need relight, land during launches, land on the northernmost part, and turn to the left before the wind direction indicator, which is here, so turn here to the left, and then you can return for a relight. So our start procedure, same thing but mirror opposite. We'll be launching club class to the south and standard class to the north. Please remember that you should not circle in the release zone below 1,100 meters above mean sea level for safety reasons. Stay clear of this area. There were some gliders circling in this area yesterday, so please stay clear of it. Finish will be on runway 29er. So you're already used to that. 5 kilometer radius finish ring, 650 meters above mean sea level minimum finish altitude. Landings on runway 29er. I must say you're getting really good at all the procedures we talk about every day. Please continue to follow them. Long landings, and then tell your gliders like this. If you need to join a circuit, do so to the south and land on the south part of the runway. If you are approaching with low energy, land on the northernmost part and turn just around here. Please be careful, there is a sand pit just here. So if you need to do this turn, do it short. Do not do it here, and do it slowly, and be careful about cars going from the runway here and all other people who might be in this area. So whenever you need to roll out, do it in this part, please. Start line will open 30 minutes after launch loss today. Start altitude will not be used. And then now the difference for the PV start procedure, we are increasing the time to 7 minutes, the wait time. Due to the expected blue thermals and to avoid goggles, we'll be using 7 minutes today. Start window remains at 8 minutes. Yesterday, we also found a bug with the PEV procedure. So please make sure not to use ARM mode when starting your task. When you press ARM, it triggers a PEV event, and CU is not able to distinguish between event and ARM, so it might ruin your start window. So do not use this procedure. There is a bug in the instrument itself. So continue to send all your files to igc@pohoda.com, and we'll have a check evening today. So we'll begin at 7 p.m. with a surprise. Buffet will begin at 19:30, and then we'll have a music band playing from 8 o'clock. Please remember to fly safe. Always look out, look out, look out. Stay hydrated. It will be very hot. No shade today for you. This is a reminder of what we'll be doing today. This is incorrect. This should be 12. So runway in use 11 for takeoff. Landing on 29er. First launch 1200. Any questions? Yes? 12 o'clock is correct. There is a mistake in the briefing. I apologize. If there are no questions, then we'll have a safety briefing from our Chief Stever.
That's all.
I'll give you this.
There's a microphone?
Yes, that's for the live stream.
Okay.
You can just clip it on your t-shirt. There's a clip.
Musím běžet.
Good morning. Oh, that's loud. Last safety briefing was done by Wojciech, and his opinion was safety briefings don't work. Well, I hope to take away at least one point from the briefing I'm going to give you, and I also hope you never have to use it, because it's about leaving the aircraft, leaving the airplane, leaving your glider. When at scrutineering, we ask you, how do you get out of your glider? How do you jump? Because most or a lot of you have a rented glider with perhaps you've never flown it before, another parachute with the release at the your shoulder or something lower, or even at your hip. Every second counts when you have to leave the glider, so that's why we ask you to show it. I will start off with a funny video from Darren Francis, who's doing very good at second, by the way. And there are some lessons, perhaps you know it. How do I put up the volume? Oh, it's a... Oh. Okay, well, it is a funny video, but still, there are some things you can learn from it. First thing, he undid his belt. Never undo your belts of your parachute. 2 years ago, we had a mid-air collision of two young Dutch pilots over Germany. They both died, but one of them was found a few hundred meters away from his parachute on the ground. So he probably undid his belts. Nobody knows why, but it was fatal for him. Another thing you saw in the footage was if you want to open your parachute, it's not that easy. It's not like you just rip it and it'll be open. You really have to push really hard with both hands. Remember, when you're out of the glider, you're going down with a speed of 200 kilometers per hour, probably tumbling because you're not stable. And then you have to find your ripcord, which might be somewhere here or here, and pull it with both hands. Then you saw him, well, going away like a sailboat. When you're on the ground, you cannot undo your belts, because that's impossible. You will be bouncing around. Remember I told you about the mid-air in Australia? The next day, or the day after, I can't remember, one of the pilots came to the briefing and explained that's what happened. He said, well, after the mid-air, I got the canopy off and I tried to get out. And he pushed himself out with his arms. His arms were black and blue, but he couldn't get out because of the high G-force. And he managed finally to get out by sticking one of his legs out of the cockpit, and the 100 kilometer per hour wind took him out of the cockpit. He opened his parachute. He said, when I looked up, I've never seen such a small canopy. I was going down with a very high speed. He hit the ground, and at that day we had like 30 kilometers wind, and he went off through the paddock. He was drawn like 400 meters or so before he managed to get his rig undone. He did not know he had to pull just a few risers and the chute will lie down and you can walk around it, take off your rig. He tried to undo his belts while going through the paddock. It doesn't work, so he had a lot of bruises as well because of that. If you want to get out after a mid-air, it might be very difficult because the canopy is gone and at that moment you're in a ferocious storm you've never experienced before. It's like 160, 180 kilometers per hour wind because you're going down with that speed. And probably you have a very high G-force which presses you in the cockpit. And the new safety cockpits we have very high edges, so it's very hard to get out of the cockpit. A few things you can do then is try to roll over the side, which is only advised. What you can also do is bend forward and pull your ripcord and let the parachute drag you out of the glider. Stick a leg out, as the guy in Australia did. And if the tail is still on, as you know, if you push the stick pretty hard forward at once, you will have a lot of negative G, and that might throw you out of the glider as well. And then, of course, pull the ripcord hard with both hands. When you're then under your parachute, it has a very small canopy, so you will descend very fast. Keep your legs straight and you will definitely break your legs. So keep your knees and feet together and bend your legs slightly. And then after the landing, or it will probably be kind of an impact, go around your parachute if there's not much wind. If you're downwind of your parachute, it'll drop down. Or pull some cords. When you're in the grid and waiting in your glider, you're not only going through what if the tow has an engine failure, what if the rope goes loose, where do I go to, but also think about some of these points we just talked about. Have a nice day.